Hello and welcome, I'm the Legendary Pokemaster, and today I'm going to be telling you my top 5 picks for the strongest legendary Pokemon.
Unlike most of my top 3 lists, this list is going to be based more on facts than opinions. In other words, I'm just trying to look at the stats and moves of a Pokemon and the advantages its types give, rather than just saying, oh hey, that looks cool. So without further ado, let's start.
For number 5, I chose Deoxys. I actually have a story behind this one. I was in 4th grade and getting into Pokemon a lot than I used to be, and I asked my friend what he thought was the strongest Pokemon. He said Deoxys because it had the best stats in any category. And I said cool. But then later on I got a Pokemon game, and I found out this was not as apparent as I thought. After receiving a Deoxys over the GTS, I realized that you need to make it into different forms for it to be good at any particular stat, like he said. However, considering this, if you use Deoxys properly, you can actually get it to do a lot of damage. For instance, if you give it a lot of good special attacks and a lot of Carbos, you could probably actually get it to do a lot of damage and maybe even knock out the opponent Pokemon before it could even attack. When you add this to the fact that it has a massive moveset, it's not too hard to see that Deoxys is a bit OP. There is a trade-off though. That's because whenever it switches to one particular form, in this case speed form, it takes away a lot from all the other stats. So that's why I chose it at number 5. I don't know why I did this. I should have made my list not true to please all the Gen 1ers, but please don't hate me because my number 4 pick is Mewtwo. Hey, at least I didn't put it at number 5. Anyway, number 4 is Mewtwo. This is because it has 2 Megaforbs, Y and X, and both have a base stat total of 780. Mewtwo's exclusive move Psystrike has to be one of the best moves I've ever used. It has a power and accuracy of 100, and it usually one-hit KOs other Pokemon. And look at them stats. They're great. They're balanced, and they are strong. Kinda like Hitmontop. Anyway, one of the only things that's holding Mewtwo back from a higher position is the fact that it can't really take hits. One glimpse at its defenses can raise a few red flags, plus it doesn't have many resistances, and it doesn't have any immunities. Also, most of Mewtwo's strength relies in its Mega Evolutions. That's why I put this Pokemon at number 4. Here's a Pokemon you may not have expected to see on this list. Number 3 is Darkrai. First off, Darkrai has a lot of good leveling up moves. Basically, any combination will work very well, but I used the classic Dark Void, Nasty Plot, Dream Eater, and Dark Pulse. There's also a plethora of TM and HM moves available, and what you're seeing on your screen right now is only about half of the library. The aforementioned strategies are only helped more by the immense speed stat of Darkrai. It's also kinda cool to have people hate you for having a Darkrai and using it competitively. Approved by some of the biggest PokeTubers. My only 2 real gripes with Darkrai is that it doesn't have too many leveling up moves, plus it has a relatively low HP stat. However, that doesn't keep it from being a very solid Pokemon. Yes, I chose the literal Pokemon God as number 2. Not that I have many complaints about Arceus, he does have very well-balanced stats, and by very well-balanced, I mean actually equally balanced in every stat. He also has very good attacks such as Perish Song and Judgment, as well as a plethora of TM and HM attacks. And yes, I did use that word before in the video, haha, but I also used the word the 11 times already. Don't be discriminatory. But it is true that Arceus learns a boatload of TM and HM moves, so many in fact that I couldn't zoom out enough to fit them all, so this is a sample. Via the elemental plates, Arceus could also transform into any type, any Pokemon type, which means stab galore. You know, same type attack bonus. What did you think I meant? Also, not that it means much, but he has perfect Pokélathon stats. 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5, yeah! The only actual complaint that I could put together is that it's kind of hard to get in the games. However, with the new event coming out later this year, everyone will probably have one. And so the hero LPM came. He proved that Arceus is worth catching and stuff. That's not him. is for theatrical effect. We have finally reached number 1. Who's it going to be? Rayquaza. Now, there are the usual questions to confront, such as, why did you pick this over Arceus? And Mewtwo, obviously. This does raise a valid point, at least for Mewtwo, because Mewtwo does have a Mega Evolution that is equal to the base stat total of Mega Rayquaza. The basic point is that Mega Rayquaza is superior to Mega Mewtwo in almost every way, and regular Rayquaza is superior to regular Mewtwo in almost every way. Rayquaza has so many more and such better moves than Mewtwo, and a better balance of stats. Its typing provides it with much more resistance than Mewtwo, and its abilities are so much better and it's easier to obtain, honestly. Its only problem that I could actually think of is that it's a bit flooded in the games, however that doesn't really affect its strength, so that doesn't really matter. So do you agree with my list, or do you disagree? If you do disagree, leave a comment down below stating what you think is the strongest legendary Pokemon. It took me a while to put this list together, and I actually put a lot of thought in it. But everyone has their own opinion, so leave a comment if you think that you have the strongest legendary Pokemon and I don't. As always, I will see you in the next video.